여러분, 안녕하세요. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am still reporting to you from quarantine, and today I thought I would do a story time. And the story will be how I almost did not make it to Korea in the first place. And this story will be about how I almost didn't make it to Korea because of just a lot of things. So the first thing happened about a week or the week before I was supposed to take off, and obviously there was the PCR test issue. And since my flight was on a Sunday afternoon, it was really hard to find a way to get a PCR test that would be 48 hours maximum before my flight, but that I would get the results for in time for my flight. So there was a ton of looking around for companies and for private entities that would do it for me, and I finally got one. Then on Saturday, a private company came to my home. In Israel, it's a lot harder to find things on Saturday, so they came to my home, they did the PCR test, and it was just a nerve-wracking game of waiting because I was, second guessing. What if there was a mistake? What if the result was inconclusive? Like, I was just freaking out. And at 5 in the morning, before I had to take, like, before Sunday, I finally got my negative PCR test and I was good to go. And so from that moment forward, I was chilled out. I was like, okay, this is gonna be, smooth sailing from here. All of the crazy stuff that could have happened. My PCR is negative. I have everything prepared. I spoke to the embassy. I'm good to go. And on top of that, I realized that I was overweight, so I even paid an extra, I don't even know how much, for a 10-kilogram bag. Okay, so I was trying to be on top of everything. I weighed everything. It was fine. So I get there and I find my desk. And I finally, get to the desk, and keep in mind everything is heavy. My back is in so much pain because I'm holding all of these bags together, and my main bag is just really difficult to maneuver. So it's like sweaty, stressful, but I'm on top of it. I have all of my files together, easily accessible. I got this. I've flown by myself before, and I was confident that I knew what I was doing. I get to the desk and they ask for my passport. I give it to them. I show them my ticket. I give them my visa. And then they say, we can't let you on the plane because you don't have a return flight. Now, I don't have a return flight because I am currently signed up for 2 semesters at a university. However, there is a chance that if I want to extend it, I can, and then I will extend my visa, obviously, and I will do everything legally, but I wasn't exactly sure when I would be done with my studying, and even if I did only stay for 2 semesters, I wasn't exactly sure, what date would be convenient, so I just, left it open. And at the embassy, they didn't say anything to me about that. Nowhere had I seen that you need a return ticket. I just didn't see it anywhere. And I was like, what? I'm here at the front desk, freaking out, and I have anxiety issues. I was like, freaking out, won't help you now. What can I do? Can I buy a ticket through you? She said, no, you have to leave the line. You have to go buy a ticket online, show me the ticket, and then you can come back. I was like, okay. I go to the side. I'm freaking out. My heart is pounding like crazy. I'm starting to sweat, and I'm just, my hands are shaking. I'm trying to find a flight. I'm just guessing a date around 6 months to the future. I do it, and I'm waiting, and I'm like waiting for my email confirmation. I finally get it. It's not the ticket though. So I finally go back into the line. They let me, cut everyone else because I had already waited, and she says, this isn't the ticket, this is just the confirmation, it's a problem. She started, like, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can let you through. And then she's like, you know what, let's just, so I put my bags on the scale, and then she says, obviously, this is too heavy. You have to move things around in your bag or take things out. And I had already, I was like, but I paid for an extra 10 kilo, it's right here. And she said, okay, so move things around. And I was like, sorry, I can't help you. They won't pick it up if it's over a certain weight. Like, there's nothing I can do to help you. And I was like, okay, fine. And keep in mind, I came plenty early because I'm neurotic and I need to come to everything early. And so I was like, I have enough time, it's fine. And then I look at the clock and all of this stuff has been taking like time that I haven't realized has just been flying by. So I go and I try to move things around. I don't want to open my whole suitcase. I don't want the whole airport to see my, bras and stuff. And I managed to take things out and move them around. And I finally go and she weighs my bags and she's like, fine. Like, and then I'm calm. She puts them by, and then just before moving on, she feels the need to see this person who is like visually sweating and breathing in a way that it is obvious that she's trying to breathe steadily because she's like panicking. She's like, I just want you to know that all together, your bags are like overweight and I'm just letting it through, but like just pay for more weight. And I was like, I'm sorry, I waited at home, it was fine. She's like, well, then yeah, then you should have paid for more weight if you knew that it was going to be overweight. And I'm like, I said, she's letting it through, don't, just leave it. And so I left it. And then she says, did you download the Korean app? And I was like, what Korean app? Again, I didn't know what she was talking about. And as a matter of fact, when I went to the Korean embassy, there was a barcode, like there was a QR code, and there was a big poster that explained everything in Korean. And I asked her, is this relevant to me? And she says, it's only relevant to Koreans. That's why it's in Korean. And I was like, okay. She said, there's an app that you need in order, to go, and I can't let you through if you don't have that app on your phone. And I was like, what? And so she gave me a link, and no matter how many times I typed the link in, there was no QR code. I could not find it anywhere, and it wasn't working. And it was like, am I not going to be able to get on this flight because of this link? And again, time was passing like more than I thought it was. I was looking it up. I was looking up just in general, like on Google, like enter Korea apps, and I was finding the wrong one. Eventually, I managed to find the right one, and then it was glitching because I wasn't sure how to fill out certain things. And I go to the guy and I'm like, I need to get on my flight. At this point, my flight is boarding at 1. It was 12:30. And I was sitting there, and at this point, I was just standing there still, waiting for him. He was like doing things on the phone. I thought he was helping me. He was doing something completely unrelated, and I just put my hand on my chest and I'm like I was literally just trying to not freak out, not cause a scene, not be counterproductive in any way. Just don't make a problem. Trust them, trust them, trust them. And at some point I say, sir, like my boarding is at 1. Am I going to make it there in time? And he's like, yeah, I'll just write a note here for the authorities that they need to help you with the app, but here you can go through. So 15 minutes before boarding, I run to security. Obviously, I stand in the one line that doesn't move. That is just Murphy's Law. And a funny issue with that is it literally wasn't moving and all the other lines were moving so quickly, and I was like, okay, cut my losses, go to another line. As soon as I moved to a line that was moving so quickly, obviously the line that I was in just starts happening. So it was just one of those days. I got through in time, I boarded, and it was all good. In the United Arab Emirates, I met another Israeli who was also going to Korea, and we shared our experiences, and it turns out that she had a similar issue where they asked her about her plane ticket, and she said, nope, I don't need it. And they said, are you sure? And she said, yeah, I'm sure. And they let her through. And then they asked her about the app, and she said, they're going to help me install it when I get there. And they said, okay. And they let her through, and she was right. When you get to Korea, when you walk through the airport, there are app barcodes everywhere. There's a lot of staff provided who will help you put all of the information in and will help you through the entire process and will explain everything to you super clearly and just to ease your mind. So that is my story time on how I almost did not make it to Korea. Thank goodness I am here. I am almost done with quarantine. I have my second COVID test tomorrow, and that is both my story time and update. I hope you guys were amused by hearing this story. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and let me know if you have any questions or what you'd like to see next. Bye guys! 안녕히 계세요!